What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this will be my second upload for today, and it will be about my final round 8 2020 predictions. And yeah, so before we do my predictions, I feel like there's a few matches that are super important for the remaining of the season, and those are Saints and West Coast, which is tonight. Geelong versus Richmond for top 4. Giants and Melbourne for top 8. Let's see. As Collingwood and Port for first probably, and Collingwood for top 8. Melbourne and Essendon. Okay, it's a pretty important game. I don't know. But I think the most important game for the remaining of the season is, I would say, Saints versus GWS. As I think those two teams are the most likely to make finals. And yeah, there's also some other games that are easy, like Bulldogs could win like Hawthorn and Freo. So those are pretty two easy games. And yeah, but the ones that I just highlighted are probably the most important games. And yeah.
Few moments later.
I just did my predictions, not going to spoil them, as I might be still making a video for my last round predictions, round 18. And as you can see, I have put the Saints out of finals, because as you can see from the Saints matches, I thought they wouldn't lose. I don't think they'll win any of the last two matches, Giants or West Coast. But still, this whole top 8 depends on St Kilda versus GWS. So if this match goes wrong for any team, like the Saints versus GWS, it goes wrong for them. Like, they don't make finals. So yeah, so these are my final top 8. I don't think Saints will make top 8. I don't think they'll make top 8. I don't think they're not the team that we expected, and they're still a bit too young. Not young, but like they aren't, like they traded a lot last year, so the players aren't like that known. They don't know each other as well, so like I don't think they'll make finals. But next year, I would literally say that they could make top 4. Like, they played really good this year. Lost to Melbourne, which was probably ruined this whole season. But as you can see, also the Bulldogs are in the 8, and they're not just 8, they're 7th, so that's pretty good. So it's gonna be Giants versus Bulldogs for the semi-finals, probably. No, for the qualifying final. And Richmond just didn't make top 4, and Collingwood just made top 8. So that one draw against Richmond literally saved Collingwood's season, I would say. So yeah, these are my final ladder predictions. So they were Port Adelaide first. Unexpected, I would say. People thought they'd still be like 9th, 10th or 11th. But they're first, which is pretty surprising. Brisbane second still. So Port will have Adelaide Oval to choose from in the qualifying final, and Brisbane will have the Gabba. And Brisbane will be against Geelong, and Port will be against West Coast. And there's Richmond, GWS and Western Bulldogs, along with Collingwood just making the top 8. Not Richmond. Richmond have been planned to make the top 8. But GWS, Bulldogs and Collingwood just make the top 8. As you can see, just one game difference. So that's pretty interesting. Because before, I feel like only 7th or 8th would be like deciding. But, you know, this year it's a bit different. And the games are shorter, so it's likely teams will be not that much games won, so the difference won't be that much. And then barely missing out on finals, we have Saints and Melbourne and Carlton, surprisingly. And then we have Fremantle and Essendon, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Sydney, North and Adelaide. So Adelaide might get the top 2 picks. North will get probably pick 3, Sydney pick 4, and Hawks will get pick 5. And yeah, I think that's bottom 4. So Adelaide win the wooden spoon, even though they did win 2 games in a row against the Hawks and GWS. So I mean, they had a pretty good end, but like they didn't do that well in total this season. And yeah, so now I'm gonna rank how good each team did. So Port Adelaide, come on, it's gonna be an S, like the best, like S plus, because nobody expected them to suddenly become first. Like I thought, like 2014 they did brilliant. 2015 they're gonna win the flag, but they didn't even make finals in 2015, so that was strange. But the good Port are back, and yeah, they did brilliant this season. So I'll give them an S plus, which is, if you don't know, better than A. Brisbane, I think they were expected to make top 4, so I'll give them an A, as they didn't fail or anything. Geelong, that was actually pretty good. Geelong did pretty good this season. I expected them to be like 5th or 6th or something, but they're still they're still Geelong, and yeah, I would actually give them an A plus. West Coast, I give them an A. Richmond, now this is interesting, as I did expect them to come like 1st or 2nd, but they ended up not even making the top 4. So that's pretty interesting. I feel like Richmond will still. I'll rate them pretty high, but not the highest. Maybe like an A minus. And the Giants, we have. I expected them to place higher after the grand final, but I think their grand final period is over, which means like I don't think their time has passed, and they'll have to rebuild again to win a grand final. So I'm giving the Giants a B plus, yeah. Bulldogs, this Bulldogs was the most interesting team this year, actually. People said they would be good again, they would make 4th, they would be like 6th or something, but yeah, they just did as people expected, to make top 8, and I think they're like, I'd give them a B, just a B. And Collingwood, like, come on, I expected them to go higher, win the flag maybe, but they just made finals, so I'm giving Collingwood, honestly, a C. And Saints, I would give them a A, actually, because nobody expected them to rise. Not Melbourne, I'd give them like a B plus. Carlton, I'd give them a B plus as well, because they did pretty good. Fremantle also did pretty good, considering how much rebuild they have done, so I'll give them a B. Essendon Bombers done a terrible year. Great start, but terrible ending. So I'm gonna give Bombers a C minus. Gold Coast, they improved from last season a lot, so I'll give them a B. And Hawthorn, they had a brilliant start. Like they bet They bet Brisbane and Richmond and on track for like top 8 footy, but in the end they lost. They're currently losing like 9 out of the 10 games they've played, and yeah, not that good. But I'll rank the Hawks a C, since we are rebuilding and entering some new players. So yeah, Sydney's continuing their rebuild, North, and then Adelaide. Yeah, so I think Adelaide is doing worse than any team right now, but I still think they're gonna be pretty high next year. Like I would arguably say that Adelaide are better than North right now if they versed. So yeah, so these are the final top 8. You can take a look if you want for me, and yeah, thanks for watching.